I'm not going to have you sit the whole time. You can stand once we get going. But just a little refresher for those of you that are coming for the first time. I was asked to do this class to see if there was enough interest to do a class that would benefit people who have Parkinson's disease. My name is Jim Moltzen. I'm almost 50 years old. I've been doing these exercises at various levels for about the last 34 years. I started when I was 16. I started doing it for self-defense. I knew martial arts was a good thing to build confidence and physical ability. But as the years went on, I saw people come in, they wanted to make their body stronger and healthier and relieve stress. I realized there were so many other benefits to doing these exercises. Check one thing here, make sure this is on. Perfect. So I had a martial arts school. Me and a friend had two martial arts schools in the area, and Florida Hospital, same organization, contacted me and asked me to do a class for their Senior Friends program, Winter Park Memorial. And we did the class there for 4 or 5 years. They loved it. They would send people down to me as they came into the hospital. If someone was in poor health and they thought they could benefit from doing the Tai Chi exercises, they would say, why don't you go down to Jim's class? He's down there now. See if you like it. Jump in if you want. Sometimes we'd have 10 people, started with 2 or 3, but by the end of the class we'd have 10, 15, 20. By the end of that class I had 40 people coming. They didn't always come back. You know, people would come and they'd try it, maybe they liked it, maybe they didn't. So over the years, the number's gone up and down, and I ended up going to Winter Park Presbyterian Church, which is just a short ways down from there, because the congregation knew that there was space there, so they asked me to come do it at the church there too. So they called me about 3 weeks ago and said, do you want to come back and do a class at Florida Hospital? It's no longer Winter Park Memorial, it's Florida Hospital now. So I said, I thought you guys had moved on because, you know, the Eastern philosophy wasn't what Florida Hospital wanted to pursue, but that was some 10 years ago. Now everybody's starting to hear Tai Chi's good for this, Qigong exercise is good for that. You know, all these alternative exercises are good for different ailments. Well, they're not alternative. They've been around for thousands of years. It's just in our culture, they're kind of new. So they got to call it something, and it's new alternative exercises. But really, these exercises have been around for a very long time. So what I try to demonstrate with these exercises is the ability to do it and for you to try and follow along. I don't make you do it. I don't walk around and check you. You follow my example and do it to the best of your ability, what you feel comfortable with. That way you don't feel like I'm going to touch your neck because your neck's been bothering you, or you don't feel comfortable with someone touching you. You do what you're feeling comfortable with. The way the exercises work, there's 3 main areas that we focus on. It's flexibility, strength, and self-awareness. And with those areas, then other things branch off, like your coordination, your balance, your cardio, all those different things. So I would like you to all, if you want, stand up and try. We'll review some of the things we did last class, and then we'll add on and go from there. If you want to just watch, you're welcome to just watch also. All right? What we'll do is find enough space amongst yourselves. We got this whole room. I'm going to stay kind of in this black area so that I'm in the video. But if you have this much room to your sides and this much room front and back, you should be good to go without flapping your hands in someone's face on accident. So, beginning exercise that I like to do with everybody, kind of gets you to relax, lets the tension go away, gets you a little bit comfortable with the class, is to put your feet about as wide as your hips are. Let your knees bend, and then take your tailbone. When your knees bend, you can kind of rock your tailbone a little bit forward. What that does is it takes the tension off your back from trying to stand straight all the time. I stand straight. My posture is to stand like this. But just that makes your back stiff also. So occasionally, you slouch. And people tell you have bad posture from slouching. Well, if you stay that way, that will be bad. But to have arched to where you're rounded and somewhere in between gives your back a little bit more flexibility. And that has to do with how energy travels in your body. Okay? So feet are shoulder width apart, knees bent, tailbone forward. Raise your arms up like you're holding on to a big ball in between your hands and your chest. Come on in, we just got started. Relax your thumbs, relax your fingers. So we're going to be kind of aware of each of the different parts of our body as we do this. Let your elbows bend. Can you move just a little bit more towards that side? Perfect. Because I have a video that's lined up right where I'm standing for the people that aren't here today. So your arms are around this big tree, almost touching but not quite. Fingers relaxed, elbows bend, shoulders bend. Knees bend, tailbone a little bit forward. This posture, while it seems kind of uncomfortable at first, starts to make the body very strong from the inside out because of the way everything lines up in the spine and the back. I want you to inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Right, inhale, exhale. Now, if your nose is plugged and you got sinus issues or any of that kind of stuff, just breathe however you feel comfortable, all right? When you inhale, squeeze the tongue up to the roof of your mouth. When you exhale, your tongue comes down to the bottom of your mouth slightly. Now, don't forget your arms are relaxed, your elbows are down, your knees are bent. All these things, you still try to keep them in line as you're doing the deep breaths. So, if your arms start to get tired, just kind of let them down to your sides. But we're going to do this for a little bit. Inhale, exhale. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. All right, let's relax for a second. Let your arms down, just stand however you comfortably would stand. It doesn't seem like that much, but anybody feeling their shoulders or their backs, their knees? You know, everybody's going to be different, but you'll feel it in the weakest areas first, just from standing like that. One of the hardest things for us to do, especially as Americans, is to sit still for a minute. We got to always be doing something. Our mind's always racing, our body, you got to keep moving, right? So to just stop, and even just to stand still like this, is very hard for most people to do, let alone to have your body in a position where you're putting a gentle amount of stress or force on the body. What we're trying to accomplish with this is there's energy that travels through your body, not just blood. Blood travels through your body to bring the energy throughout, all right? So when we do this and we're in the position, then we do the deep breathing, the tongue goes up, the tongue goes down, what happens is there's a meridian that goes from the center line all the way from the front and the back and comes back to here. The top and the bottom is where it meets. So when you breathe, open the mouth and close the mouth, that gate keeps getting open and closed. That circulation going up the middle branches into other meridians. Same way like your veins and your arteries branch throughout the body, so do these energy meridians. So by breathing like this, it activates more energy in the body. Our goal is to get where we feel as relaxed and comfortable as when we're asleep, but when we're awake. And if you feel like you're just going to fall asleep, better to go grab a chair so you don't fall down. But that's when our body heals the most, is when we're sleeping. Not when we're up and doing stuff and trying to make our body get better. It happens when we sleep. So we're going to do the same exercise again. I'm going to show you a couple other positions with your arms with it. So again, feet shoulder width, knees bent, tailbone forward, shoulders relaxed, elbows bent, hands relaxed. Almost touching, but not quite. Thumbs relaxed. When I inhale, I'm going to try to fill up from my base of my lungs all the way up towards my throat, to my nose. When I exhale, I'm going to follow that breath all the way down. So even though I'm not moving my hands, that's what I'm thinking. Breathe from your stomach, the diaphragm, up to the nose, and the nose back down to the diaphragm. Now when I exhale, I squeeze my stomach. When I inhale, I relax my stomach. It's diaphragm control. Singers, musicians, they learn how to do it also. Inhale, exhale. Squeeze your stomach as you exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, next one. Move your arms to the side and make the letter W with your arms. Let your fingers gently spiral. So if I'm here, I'm going to let my fingers and my thumb gently spiral to behind me. I'm going to let my wrist and my elbows gently spiral to behind me. And then lastly, I'm going to make my shoulder gently spiral backwards. That gentle twisting is going to, for one thing, increase your flexibility, but just a minute amount. But we're restricting blood flow with that gentle twisting. So that when we relax and come back to another position, the blood races faster through those areas that it was previously restricted. So again, we're here. Bring your arms to the sides, palms up, like you have a ball in each palm, and then gently spiral. Spiral, spiral the shoulders. It's a little bit of tension. And some of you, if you've never moved those muscles like that before, it'll get a little painful. Claire, move your arms out just a little bit, and then relax the twist. Don't twist quite so hard. See, I won't walk around and twist your arm, but I can do it from over here, just telling you. Next one, turn your hand so that the thumbs point to the walls. Stretch, like you're trying to touch the walls. Fingers back, thumb out. Anybody feel a stretch, the tension on your skin? Then you'll feel the muscles, maybe your forearms, your wrists, and then back off. You feel that a lot? See, everybody's different. Just different muscles being used in a way that you normally don't do. It gets the blood moving to those areas. If it gets too much, just drop them. Next one, all the way up to the ceiling, like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Thumbs up, fingers down, and then bend the elbows. And then bring your focus back forward. All right, if we want to work on our balance a little bit more, look up and try and keep your head focusing upward. Try to stay away from the lights though, you don't have to stare at the lights. And then again, we're going to come back. You feel a difference now in your shoulders? For some, it's like, oh, my shoulders don't hurt as much, but now it's a different spot. And then back to here. And then to finish this, we're going to make a ball. A lot of the emphasis is making ball shapes. And then down, lock your knees, lock your elbows, squeeze your stomach, and let the breath out. All right? At any time you want to take a break and grab a seat, or just get out of the position, feel free to. I'm not making you be uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you have to adjust it. The ball is a perfect shape. It's balanced, right? You draw a circle, hard to do by hand. You get out a compass, you draw it perfect. When we do these exercises, a lot of times we're trying to make this ball shape because in a philosophical view, it's a perfect shape. There's balance there. So we stretch one direction, we stretch equally the other direction. So many body problems and ailments come from us favoring one side of our body. Perfect example is athletes. They work a lot on their upper body, boxers, weightlifters. They make their upper body strong. They forget about some of the lower body. They don't train as much with that. Runners, they train their legs. They don't have as much arm strength. What we do as a culture is we drive with one arm out the window, the other hand on top. Or we lean forward. When we're talking, we're eating. We do all these different things, even when we stand. We stand in an unbalanced way. So when we do these exercises, we're going to do left side, we're going to do right side. We're going to do top, we're going to do bottom, we're going to do inside and out. And a lot of it comes back to the ball. So the next one we're going to do, put your feet a little wider. This is called a horse stance, like you're sitting on top of a horse. A little bit apart and point your toes just a little bit out from being straight. Here's this big ball in front of me, and I'm using just a little bit of effort to hold on to it. I'm going to spin the ball to the left. One hand comes by my navel, the other hand comes across to my shoulder. Spin the ball back. Spin the ball the other direction. Now when I spin the ball, I'm going to round my back by dipping my chin. When I come back to holding the ball, my back is arched. So this here is called horseback. If you can imagine getting on top of a horse, the back sags down, and that's where you sit, right? When I go from a horseback to this position, I'm going to call this turtleback, because the back on a turtle is very rounded the opposite direction. So a combination of being in this to this is kind of like giving yourself a chiropractic adjustment of your spine on your own without having someone do it, cranking your back to make it line back up in the right spot. So from here, again, don't worry about which arm is which because I'm mirroring you. Hold on to the ball. Back is arched. Wherever my chin goes dictates where my spine goes. When I round my back by dipping my chin, put one arm on top, the other one underneath. Now if you can, try to go to your opposite hip. Try to go to your opposite shoulder. Then I come back to being arched. You can sit down doing this exercise, by the way. You can do it laying down in a bed. You can do it anyway, as long as you can get your arms to move and your spine to roll. So once again, inhale, exhale. Now you'll see we kind of shift from side to side a little bit. Reason for doing that, again, inhale, exhale, is by doing that, I get comfortable with where my center of gravity is at. Another thing that we work on when we try to develop balance is an awareness where your center of gravity is at. So if you find your navel, and about maybe 3 inches below your navel, 3 inches back, is your physical center of gravity. As we do some of these exercises and you shift and you bend, you become more aware of where that spot is at, it's easier for you to keep your balance. So as I start to do this and I kind of shift back and forth, I'm trying to lower my center of gravity with a little bit of stretching side to side to kind of settle into that spot. That in itself will make your balance better, knowing where your center of gravity is at. Okay, let's keep adding on to this. If you feel comfortable with what we just did, when I come to the opposite side from here, bottom hand comes on the inside and comes all the way up towards the ceiling. Like I'm trying to put my hand on the ceiling. Same time I'm going to try to put my other hand on the ground. My back is straight, but I'm pushing my shoulders away from my body. And then I relax. When I relax, I let my elbows bend, I let my knees bend. Then I go to the other side. Hand to the opposite shoulder, hand to the opposite hip, round your back, a little shift back and forth. As my bottom hand comes on the inside, I straighten up. Palm to the ceiling, palm to the ground. Stretch away from your body. Feel the tension on your back, your shoulders, your legs, and then let the tension go. So a lot of this is just about being aware of all the different parts of your body and how they work and how you can maneuver them. So again, spin the ball, doesn't matter which direction. Opposite hip, opposite shoulder, chin is down, my back is rounded. Each vertebrae is a little bit bent. Bottom hand comes on the inside, and I straighten up. One palm up, one palm down. Now we're going to put the balance into this again. Try to look up and turn your head. So if I got my left hand up, I'm going to tilt my head to the right and try to look up towards that hand. Take the tension away again. Back to holding on to the ball. Round the body. Inhale as you come up. Look up. Exhale. Come back. So I just keep going from side to side. Take as many breaths as you need to. I'm just giving you spots to kind of exaggerate breathing. Like here, I'm going to inhale. Exhale. Now when I'm going to lean to the side, I'm going to let my arm bend a little bit. I'm going to let my knee bend a little bit. Both my knees, so that I have my center of gravity, again, lower, so to feel more stable. If your legs are straight and your arms are straight, it feels like you're standing on top of a chair maybe. So let's lower the center of gravity, and then you can lean even a little bit more. Time to come back. Straighten your spine again. Opposite side. Round the back. Straighten the back. Stretch away from your body. Relax. Little bend in your elbows. Little bend in your knees. Head looks up, and then dip your shoulder a little bit. And then back. All right? And then you can just bring your arms down slowly.